myself. Okay. So when we tested specifically for cannabinoids for you. And what it does is these are called, what it does is it sends a signal into your body. And when we breathe, when we are in a normal state, we breathe a certain way, our heart rate is a certain way. But when we get like excited, let's say it's a good excitement, our breathing alters. We quicken our breathing, our heart rate alters. And when we get stressed, same way, our breathing and heart rate alters. What the machine measures is what's your baseline, and it puts a filter in. If in case the liver is normal, how would you react? If in case your stomach is normal. So when the filter comes in, it measures whether the response changed. And if in case the response changed, then we know the problem is because of the liver, right? Like because it's assuming the liver is normal. And if in case the liver issue is there, then it compensates with the medicine. Here we are testing for cannabis. So it will put in that medicine in frequency because we calculated what is the molecular weight. I actually designed the cannabis part. I submitted to the company. I said, I work only with cannabis. Can you put it together? So each herb has molecular weight, atomic weight. So we take that and then we put it in. And with that frequency, even before you take that cannabis, I can test and tell you whether it worked for you. Okay, so you don't need to, like, sometimes people buy something and then they end up not liking it.
Yeah.
So it prevents you from going through that process because your body subconsciously has these memory. That's why PTSD is very interesting phenomena, because every reaction we do starts with our breathing space.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why like in India they do pranayama, breathing exercise and stuff. The reason is that they call it marma points. That is, marma means secret. The way the nostril, like, joins the face, these points are marma points. And the nerve, olfactory nerve, which brings these aroma into the brain, triggers a memory in the brain and creates these feelings. Okay. In spirituality, we say it another way, but I'm going to tell it in a medicinal way so you would understand. They say there is magical side and logical side. So magic people will also understand. Logic, I'm also trying to expand.
Right.
So the reason is, let's say like...
I'm a very spiritual being,
okay,
so I get what you're saying.
So
I'm olfactory thing, like every once in a while I can tell when my father's there because I can smell him.
Yes.
And he's been gone for... So
yes.
I get it. I get what you're saying.
So I am going to also say it in a logical way. So why it is happening, right? Let's say, see, the time is, God's time is different from man's time, okay? The essence of time is the experience we gathered in that moment, and we live it out in memories, okay? The time, in human time, we think differently. But the essence of that experience ends up being God's time, okay? In God's time, right? Like, it's like the time stands still. That's why, like, they say when people have near-death experience, they say, my whole life was played out in that 1 second, right? How is that possible, right?
Right.
50 years gets played out in 1 second. That's because for some reason we go through a portal, right? The portal, like, opens up some sort of a perception goal for you or for me, like that space, and that creates a very deep perception that goes beyond time, okay? And it's like a time traveling. So in PTSD, if I'm going to reiterate, that time when the trauma was happening, you were like, hearing a music that was in the background. A wind was blowing and this aroma was coming in. Your mom was cooking. All that, if you even get a whiff of that smell, creates the anxiety. If you hear the music, it creates anxiety. And it's all pieced. It's like a shattered glass, okay?
Yeah.
So when you understand that, you need to know how to reset it. The resetting part from PTSD is You need to go back to that space and relive. Have you seen that movie Before We Fall?
Yeah, I went to a therapist that made me do that.
It's not memory. It's you have to be living in that little girl's place. And actually in India, I'm working with a goddess now. Her name is Vaishnavi. And her space in Himalayas, it's in Himalayas, is a cave. And you have to crawl through that space to go see her. And it's represented as 3 mounds of rocks. And I felt it's symbolic of rebirthing. You go there, relive. And the minute you go there, you come out, it's almost like you're given a new life. What you used to be, you can lose that identity. And you are given a clean plate. So your trauma is taken care of by her. So I love that energy. So, I mean, like, that's the way I am perceiving it. Like, see, perception keeps changing,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
This is my understanding today.
Right.
But so if you understand that, so the reason I'm again bringing it up is when our breathing space alters, they call it in computer differential ratio. So they calculate your differential ratio. What is your normal breathing? What is the difference when these herbs are added and how your breathing changes and stuff? And according to the baseline differential ratio also, we can tell where you are.
Okay.
The lowest differential ratio you have, it means you have a need for magnets. We have numbers we go by. And the next level is electrical energy. And the third level is nutrition energy. Fourth level is emotional energy. And then it's the lymphatics. It's like, the fluid movement in the body. And finally, it's like, connective tissue networks and stuff. So according to your range also, we can figure it out. So your range is 10.12, okay?
Keep in mind, I just came back from 2 weeks of vacation.
So 10 point, no. The reason is, like I'm saying, that's your baseline.
Yeah.
Baseline 10.12 is emotional range. You still need emotional support. That's what it's saying to me.
Okay.
8 to 16 is emotional support.
Okay.
And 162 markers we tested. This is like a very basic test I did. But we can also do high-end testing with 256 markers. But for the first visit, we just keep it simple.
Okay.
Of that, your range was 119 in normal. So like you are 2/3 normal, maybe because of the vacation. So you're like, caught up with your sleep and stuff. So you could tell the only problem is 43 markers. So it's not a bad thing, right? Like you could see immediately you're doing better, right? Like you're not that bad. And all the red is inflammation markers. So you want to bring it back to normal. All the green is what is in range.
Okay.
So our goal is to make the green better.
Okay.
Because you want to be more efficient inside. And you want to get the red to come down. Okay. So when we go down further, it'll tell you which reset what. Okay. So 43 markers is the baseline we are looking at. The first one is essential oil it looks for, and it brought back 31 markers in range. So even though it calls it essential oil, actually it's a terpene. Like I can show you. The terpenes are what is the aroma the cannabis produces. And hopefully, one day you will take time to, learn this more. But this will help you a lot if you understand the terpenes. That's the way many plants say hello. Say hello, come into my world. Because that's how, plants, the minute you walk in, you smell and they say, I love that. Right?
Yeah, it makes you,
yeah.
Okay.
So the cannabis has total 3 ways we look at cannabis. The first is the mother plant. The mother plant has 6 different categories: floral, earthy, spicy, woody, fruity, herbal. So the second category is a subcategory of this mother plant. What is the derivative of that? So fruity is more like tropical, right?
Yeah.
tropical, so it would be like a berry flavor, citrus. So it's like the taste buds, what it would feel.
Okay.
Right? So the mother is the foundation, and then the feeling. And then the aroma it emits, like, so the terpenes becomes the aroma. So the aroma group, so these are the feelings group, and then the aroma group would be, again, 5 major categories.
Okay.
So, like, for anxiety, we usually do the floral.
Okay.
And for brain issues, like, like seizures, and that would be beta caryophyllene. And limonene is for gut issues, if you have problems digestion.
Oh my God, I'm on 80 milligrams of omeprazole a day.
And then myrcene is for body aches and pain, fibromyalgia.
Yep, I have terrible
and then
inflammation.
breathing problem would be alpha pinene. So you could see, like, there are multiple categories.
Yep.
So you can
I have them all?
Yeah, you have to see. That's why essential oil testing is important, because what it is telling you is, if you add to your herb these essential oils and store it, right?
Yeah.
You will gather that aroma.
Okay.
So, and you need only, and because, see, like fragrance, you don't do perfume, like, tons of them, right? You put a whiff. That's exactly.
I don't like smells. I have
so what you
an
would
aversion to noises and smells.
So what you would do is, with you, if you're that particular, you can even do like a spray bottle, add these essential oil, just spray, like, or the sampler bottles, which is like 1 drop, so that's all you need. You don't need, because each ml is 20 drops, so you can dilute it further.
Okay.
And then even that you can dilute it further. Like, we can train you how to make it very, very efficient for you.
Okay.
So the first one is, I'll tell you exactly what it is. The first product took away 31 problems. Okay. The second problem would, like, 9 problem went away. So of the 43, already 40 is gone, right?
Yeah.
So you could see. And then the third one is 2. And you can always see what exactly you're looking for. This is a major anti-inflammatory.
I love clary sage.
So it is the other way to look at it, right? Yes, I am glad you are saying sage, but what I'm saying is, you can even read further. This is anti-inflammatory issues, 31 problem goes away. The second one, remember how I told you the breathing is pinene?
Yeah.
So you have respiratory issues, 9 problem goes away, okay? 2 problems goes away with nutmeg. Nutmeg is a nutty flavor, right?
Yeah.
So you could see your body is looking for, the first one is anti-inflammatory, and we are going to see where exactly the mark is. The second one was breathing. So the breathing usually is woody, right? Pine, alpha pinene. And then you could see nutmeg comes in, I think it would be nutty, spicy. Nutmeg should be here. So you need a spicy nutmeg fragrance, and you don't even need essential oil. You can put like a pinch of nutmeg into your cannabis when you grind, and you would add that.
Okay.
And then the last one is sage. The sage, only 1 requirement, which means because you're loving it, you're using it already. So it is to improve oxygenation to your brain, so your focus gets better. That's why they call it sage, because sage usually tend to have better wisdom, right?
It's funny because I actually buy dishwashing liquid that has no scent, and I put sage oil in it because I love the smell so much.
So that's why you're caught up. Like, your body is caught up, and you need to have only one of that. So if you understand this whole concept, you will see. So what is the first one? The first one is what it says: to clean the air and take away unwanted odors. So it looks like something in your environment is like, emitting a fragrance which you don't like. So this is oil blends, multiple oil blends, that takes away the ability. Oh, so it looks like some bug bites are at home. It says, take bug bites or scratches to soothe skin. Restore skin. Do you have skin issues?
I got eaten alive on vacation.
So that's what it's. Isn't that amazing? It like points out and says she has skin issues.
Yeah.
See how it says bug bites, scratches.
Yeah.
So it might be citronella. Like, I'm like thinking, because there are natural repellents are citronella,
I do get
geraniol.
I don't like geranium. Oh God.
Okay,
I
and
hate
then
that smell.
oregano. These are
Yeah, I
like
like
natural
that. Yep.
repellent. So you need to like a thyme,
Yeah.
like so these are oil blends. But what I try to read underneath is why are you asking for that
Yeah.
fragrance? And your body says
I
it's
get
because
eaten
you
alive
have
all the time.
So it says to prevent bug bite. So it is understanding that's
Yeah.
causing you stress.
Yeah.
So it's looking at your skin being restored. So it's amazing, right? When you read into the reports, you get like really a lot of information. And this is what I train people, because it's not about the report. It's like how efficient are you understanding the report? You know? So as a business, if you want to start this, it will help you and it will help everybody else around you.
Right.
And if you make money enjoying what you do, you don't need to work for another person.
Right.
You know, you can be the reason we make money is to be healthy.
Yeah.
Right. And if that is gone, you need make money so you can go on vacation.
Right.
You know, so that you can do it right anywhere. So the second one is breathing. It says you have issues with breathing. And third one, nutmeg, like I told you, it is to maintain circulation and digestion.
Yeah.
And to relax. And the last one, sage, is for mood, mild mood changes, nausea, cramps, bloating, and fluctuations with menstruation issues. And it says it is used to promote respiration as well, and to help overworked muscle relax after a long stressful day. So overall, that is your cannabis need. We tested. Now we are going back to Dawn, my partner, how she will view this report. So I'm going to, usually she'll, take over here, but I'm going to talk to you. So what it says is, in addition to that, your body is looking for IV to get away the plaque building. Okay, so it looks like your circulation needs to improve. And it also looks like it is looking for alkalinizing. You probably have acidic issues as well.
I do.
And then vitamin C, it says even though you're taking vitamin C, you still have a higher need. And then the last one is vitamin B12, and then chelation. There is a little bit of toxin, but it says your requirement is not that great. You don't need to focus on B12 and chelation because that's not like really a big deal for your body. Yeah. But the highest need is to improve your circulation.
Okay.
And alkalinize.
Well, that makes sense because I haven't been exercising, so.
And your scores are not that bad, it's like a little bit of a need. And then we go back to what is causing your need. So it says spleen. Spleen usually means you're coming across bacteria, could be Lyme, something that is overwhelming, because spleen deals with organisms.
My husband and I had both been having terrible intestinal issues since we went to Belize, and
so that's
it's probably the food.
Yes. So it could
the
be
water.
Could be worms, because sometimes even though people don't understand it, we do have things that we get through water, food, undercooked meat, so spleen gets stressed at that time. So spleen to restore, we would do a therapy that would help you cleanse those leaky gut, and plus to build your immunity, because the immunity, only way to build it is having a high hydrochloric acid content. And because you're taking the antacids,
and
you probably are depleting.
Them.
You would have depleted already whatever normal hydrochloric.
It's funny. I went to a gastroenterologist about 3 months ago, and he said, I understand that you need this omeprazole. He said, but have you ever considered a natural therapy? Because it sounds to me like maybe your digestive issues aren't all physical.
No, actually, the thing, Western medicine looks at digestive issues differently. The Eastern medicine, the way or rather, I should say, holistic way, is the rotten food inside creates hydrogen peroxide. So it is actually a lactic acid and hydrogen peroxide, which is putrid acids coming out of rotten meat.
Yeah.
That's burning you.
Yeah.
It's not your digestive juices.
I can't eat chicken.
If you can digest your food, you would have never needed antacid in the first place.
Right.
But what people in West do is they just put a band-aid over the problem.
Yep.
But the problem is buried deep inside.
Yeah.
If you're not healing that ulcer, if you're not understanding why are you getting that rotten inside, it's very
the
tough
meat.
to heal.
Yeah, it's the meat,
So-
it's the cheese, it's all
So
of that.
the natural way, the number one natural thing I'm doing now, it's called Haritaki powder, Haritaki. It's a powder. You take it every night and it'll heal natural ulcers. Because even when we speak with anger, we raise our voice, it creates micro ulcers, all from our throat back to the belly. So you want to also heal. And when we think from our belly to our throat, right? So in India, they call it poison, like you speak poison, because you take people's opinion and you let it burn you and you spit out poison, which is sarcasm, like you're cutting them down.
Yeah.
So that shows that mentally we are agonizing over these issues. And if you understand it's their opinion, what you're carrying is a memory of their opinion inside and burning you, right? Like you don't need to pay that higher price. They are not gods.
Right.
I mean, what they say is not destiny.
Right.
You can just look at them and say, hey, that's your memory of me and I don't believe that is right. So you just walk away from them. So I feel the way we engage with people, I use cognitive behavior therapy because I find it's very interesting. Actually, I work both with Indians and Americans. Indians have a very different view of how to deal with stress because they feel, oh, just ignore it. But they'll talk behind somebody's back. They'll gossip. They'll have a very different way of coping. They have a nuclear family system and they have a very big army. In America, we are loners. Everybody is their own individual unit. You fight your own battles. And because of that, our mental capacity has to be very strong because insanity here puts us in asylum. You know, we are again held separate. And then you go to the jail, you don't get along, you get a lonesome cell. So essentially in America, it's all about separation. In India, it's all about gathering. And so they gather to please people and they have a very different behaviors. And they will tell what people want to hear as a people pleaser and they will engage together. In America, even if it hurts us, we tell the right way and then you end up paying a price for being right.
Right.
So Americans have to work with cognitive behavior therapy where you need to speak in a skillful manner.
Yeah.
You need to say, instead of saying I'm a loser, you say I need to learn more. You know, so it's a very different way of engaging. In India, don't speak unless you really mean it because people will say, oh, definitely I'll help you, then they'll never show up. You know, so I feel show it in action. I don't need your words. In America, I feel I don't need your words. I know you're there. But like, you know, first show me it works for you, then help me to help you. Because I feel it's all fantasy. We live in fantasy, you know, in our mind. Like I will always think, oh, I need to have my first coffee to wake up. And I'll spend $2 and that person's coffee I really hate. Because it's like in my mind that coffee is more attractive than real coffee I'm drinking.
Right. Okay.
So I think it's what we are looking forward to is the experience. But the end result, we don't find it happy anyway. And you screw ourselves up, you know, in the middle. And I'm like saying, why did I waste all my life? And that's why like when they sue for divorce and stuff, the girl will say, I wasted my 20 years on you. And I'm saying, why did you do that? Right? Like, I mean, you would watch shows and stuff and you'll see this man, like, you know, being very successful. The women always, or maybe they reverse. I let you go to school. I do this, I do that. And here I'm left with nothing. So they fight. But I'm saying how silly you are to put, this is what somebody wrote. They said, I love you, so make me happy. That's the essence of what we are saying to each other.
Basically, yeah.
I'm saying how silly you were to just focus on him and not focus on you.
Right.
You know, give him 100%, but give yourself 50%. You know, like take half of what you're giving him and do something with your life too.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel that's where we are lacking. Because we have so much resources, we are not using it here.
Yeah.
In India, they have no resources.
That's me.
but they are using it as a group coalition, so both have good and bad.
Yeah.
So I like both systems, but I know where the problem is also. So like I don't engage a certain way in India and I don't engage a certain way in America. And I feel my goal is, if people think I'm rude, fine. I mean, I'm not here to please people. I'm here to do my life.
Right.
So I think don't be scared to offend people too. Like, people are going to have opinion. People are going to say, oh, you're doing the bad thing and stuff. So, but the thing is, first goal is, if you're going to get involved with helping another person, the first thing you need to know is, have you helped yourself? Have you healed yourself?
Yeah, I need to fix me first.
Yes. So that is the number one priority. And then you can teach too. So here, your spinal column C6 is having an issue. And again, it's also both ways you can read. C6 is both energy and also all the planets are associated with our vertebra. Remember how there are 3 types of people in homeopathy. One is like plant kingdom, where fight or flight response. They go into a frozen mode. If you pluck a plant and replant it, it goes into that frozen state, right? That fright.
Yeah.
So those are plant people who will respond to plant remedies. The people who are saying, you attacked me first, so I'm going to make sure either you or me survive this war. So that is animal kingdom. So they will do very well with hormones. Okay, so like animal products or like a hormone issue, like building muscles. And animal products, meaning like, you would use like, what is the strength about that tiger? How does he fight? Like, so like kind of like having a totem, like Native American type of healing would work for them. And then, but you can also do like, or like how they have armor, thyroid, like, you would do things to reset your hormonal organs too. And then the third one is structural, which is minerals and crystals and stuff. These people, they'll say, oh, I'm falling apart, my bone is hurting, they need mineral remedies. That's why vitamin C, magnesium, calcium, vitamin D. So these are 3 groups, major categories. In that, C1 to C7 is planets in addition. And each planet has a meaning. And so your stress is C6, which is Mars. So C1 is Saturn, C2 is Jupiter, C3 is Venus, C3 is Mars, sorry. C4 is Sun, C5 is Venus. Oh, C6 is then, this is a planet. Mercury is C7. Oh, no. C6 is Mercury. C7 is Moon. So Mercury is involved with travel, making quick decisions. So like stress, like, like you're coming up with solution fast. And Mercury is also impulse issues, not able to like think through problem solving. So you could see like, how
that's in my report.
Quicksilver. Remember like how Quicksilver type of.
Yeah, she said that I have issues with change and making decisions quickly.
So you could see like, but I'm saying that is spiritually.
Yeah.
But also like, in what we do in energy affects us indirectly in the body, because it's all connected.
Yeah.
The one that is happening in the material world is a reflection of what's happening in the energy world. The energy world alters first, and then the material world follows. So if you understand and work with it, like, taking time, one of the things my spiritual teacher teaches is thoughts per second. If you can stop thinking, to get to that level is very, very hard. Like for me, he says the thinking starts between belly to throat. Hey, come on in. I'm almost done. Hey, you guys are late for class. Well, that's okay. What happened? I thought you said your wife is coming.
She was.
But
and then
okay.
she's like, I have to get my freaking nails done. She's got stuff to do tonight. So.
Okay, so we went. We are almost done.
Okay.
So you could see where the stress was, and I'm going to email this to you on T7. Yeah, I did it for him last week, and he's. If you want to stay over for the planting class and audit today, you can. He did last week with me.
I'm gonna check out your back room here.
Yeah, sure. So gallbladder is stressed, liver meridian is stressed, but the meridians also have energy parts.
The liver's probably stressed because I've been on vacation for 2
Yeah.
weeks and it hasn't had a break.
And plus it's environmental toxin.
Yeah.
So I'm going to email this to you
Okay.
and on what major emotion you're feeling. It says is frustration is one of the issue. But the reason we are frustrated is we are lacking ability to understand what the problem is. See, frustration is lack of knowledge. So when you're frustrated, it means there is an outcome you're looking for, but you are given a different way to solve it, and that creates like a split,
Yeah.
and that creates frustration. So you need to first go back and say, okay, where is it we agree, and where is it we disagree? So agreeing part, build it. Disagreeing part, see whether you can compromise. What is one thing you can say, okay, I'm not going to be worried about the outcome, and build that. Okay.
Okay.
And major need for your body is it says glutamic acid, glutamine. It is gut issue, serotonin, taurine, and that's what your body is looking for. Okay. So I am going to email this to you, so you will have it, and then we're going to end this session. So I'll also send this video, so you will be able to. I will post it on my channel.
Okay.
And that way, if in case you have a specific question, I'd be able to help you as well.
Okay.